Right.
Only took you a year, but you're catching up a little.
And they still think you're crazy because you took way longer to get to this
you
point.
wasted a year.
Yeah.
You could have gone to Coachella, Comic-Con, Cabo, and Burning Man. I went to every one of those things.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
Something is about to break.
It's Wednesday, November 8th, and you are listening to the About to Break podcast. I'm your host, Taylor Hughes, and this is the show where we sit down with artists and entertainers, and we talk about the ups and downs of life in the entertainment business. I could not be more excited about the guest we have on the show this week, Mr. Michael Levine. Celebrity publicist, he's worked with everyone from Barbra Streisand to George Carlin, and it shares so much great stuff in this short episode. I know that you're going to love it. Before we get into it, let me say this. This Sunday, November 12th, is our next Jokers and Aces show, and if you haven't come out to a Jokers and Aces show, this is the show that I look forward to all month long. It is in the Nerdist Showroom at Meltdown Comics, and it's this Sunday, November 12th. We've got comedy from Emily Heller and Dave Ross. My friend Eddie Firth and I will be co-hosting the show, and we've got the magic of Jimmy H., Blake Voigt, and Derek Hughes. It's going to be an amazing show, and I hope to see you all there. You can get tickets to that show, $8 pre-sale tickets, just by clicking the link here on the show notes, or by going to abouttobreakpodcast.com and clicking on live shows, and that will take you right there. But enough about that. Let's get into the program. As I mentioned, my guest on the show this week is Michael Levine. Michael is an incredible publicist. He's written many books on the idea of public relations and guerrilla PR, and he's represented over 58 Academy Award winners, 34 Grammy Award winners, 43 New York Times Bestsellers, so he knows a thing or two about the entertainment business. I met Michael Levine through one of my closest friends, Adam Christine, and was immediately taken back by not only how incredibly knowledgeable this gentleman is in the area of entertainment, but just how good he is at what he does. I was so excited to sit down with him and to talk about his experience, not only with his story in entertainment, but also the many people that he has worked with and helped along the way. No matter what area of the industry you are involved in, you can definitely take something away from this conversation. Michael is so generous with his knowledge. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. Sit back, relax, and enjoy my conversation with publicist Michael Levine. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to About to Break. I'm your host, Taylor Hughes, and this week I am joined by my friend Michael Levine. Michael, how are you?
I'm well. I'm busy, but fine, and happy to be sharing the audience, your valuable audience, with you, and wanted to acknowledge your topic, which is interesting to me. It's just interesting about why I've studied and have been fascinated by similar things about why certain people break, what role is in the recipe,
right,
talent, all those things. So I just wanted to acknowledge and admire your doing this, because I think it's an interesting topic.
It is a topic that I think so many in the industry experience, but very few talk about publicly. So I really appreciate you taking the time to share not only your experience, but you've walked through this with a lot of different celebrities.
I have. And remember, when we're having a conversation today, which I hope to be enjoyable and spirited, these are my points of view, right?
Right, yeah.
But everybody listening to this at some point will have their own ideas, their own thoughts, and they have to make choices about their lives. No one size fits all.
Right. Oh, yeah.
What I do in conversations like this is just report on both my observations and statistical facts.
Yeah.
And some of them are inconvenient truths.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. I think sometimes we don't like to audit the ones that are inconvenient. We don't like to
I
share
will
those.
tell you, for the damnedest reasons, I don't know why God said it or the universe has been set up this way, but it's true. Very often in life, we don't like our best teachers, particularly at first. Why is that? I have no idea. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
They bring forth ideas and conversations that are frustrating to us.
Right.
That we don't want to consider, maybe.
Right.
And so we often don't like our best teachers.
Has that perspective shaped how you approach conversations with people who come to you looking for support or help or publicity? And
perhaps, yeah. I think everything shapes everything, and yeah. Anyway, I don't want to get too far afield. Thank you for the opportunity to chat with you and share my thoughts with you and learn from you too, because you're on the front line.
Oh, I love it. Your perspective, and I alluded to it earlier, not only do you have your own journey, but in your role and the role that you've chosen to play, you really walk hand in hand with so many people through their journey in entertainment. How did that come about with you, stepping into the role of media relations and publicity and partnering with other artists?
Sure. Well, first of all, I was born, I think some of this you know. I was born in New York City.
Yep.
I was born about 2.5 miles north of Ground Zero. And so I have had in my life the unique misfortune, maybe. I don't know if misfortune is the right word, but I've had the unique experience of watching the World Trade Center be built twice.
Oh, wow.
Which, by the way, is not great.
Right.
And so I did not come from a good family. I had an alcoholic parent, and it wasn't great, to be honest with you. And in addition to that, I had a problem which wasn't as well known at the time, and that problem was called dyslexia.
Yeah. Yep.
And dyslexia is better known today. Many things are better known today.
Right.
Even the topic of alcoholism or addiction is better known today.
Right, yeah.
But 40 years ago, dyslexia was kind of thought to be dumb.
Right.
Or unmotivated,
Right, yeah. Or you just need, the idea that you just need to work harder as opposed to...
Mm-hmm. But effectively, it was dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a challenge. And so I, by virtue of these things, not a good upbringing, I was not, to say I wasn't a good student is a little understated. I was a very bad student. I barely graduated high school.
Yeah.
And so I was a scared, skinny kid in New York with no money and no job and no education, no parenting. And here we are. Now, I had two passions in my life at that point. I had the passion of interest in politics, and I had the interest in the entertainment industry, and I decided to come out here, and off we went, and I needed to find a job. I left the house at 17, never returned, never worked for anyone, always self-employed. Basically, I was a street hustler.
Wow.
Creating entertainment industry events. And, and so I promoted things and hustled things and managed rock groups and all these things. And then came out here in 77. And, the journey, what I've observed, because the first question most said, well, how did you do it?
Right.
That sounds like me. How did you do it? Well, I humorously say, Taylor, I guess what I did, I didn't know it at the time, but I guess what I did kind of very much in line with that classic line, in The Godfather. You remember The Godfather, the first Godfather movie?
Oh, yeah.
And do you remember the most famous line in the movie was, I'm going to make him an offer
He can't refuse.
he can't refuse. Do you
Right.
remember that?
I do.
Well, we are called upon. I love that movie. And we are called upon, I guess, if we think about it in a certain kind of way, to make the world an offer it can't refuse.
Yeah.
So I did.
Wow.
And then you'll say, really? What was that?
Yeah.
And,
How did you do that? What did that look like
but
for
first I want to just ask you and the audience to pause for just the slightest of moments
you? Absolutely.
and think about the movie. Watch it if you choose. If you have, by the way, if you're a young person, you haven't seen The Godfather, my friend.
Right. Right.
My friend.
Stop whatever
My
you're doing
friend.
right now.
and my friend.
Some movies are more than movies.
This is arguably the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Well, Godfather 1, Godfather 2.
Right.
So, I think about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse. And then think about it in relation to your life and think about what I'm saying. And I guess my responsibility at that point in the story coming here is to make the world an offer it can't refuse.
Yeah.
Now, let's first analyze that from the perspective of what it is not. Okay, let's think about what it is not. And what it is not is a statement of victimhood.
Okay.
That's what it is not.
Right.
If you have a desire to be broke in America, right? For whatever reason, you want to be broke, right?
Okay.
There is no better advice I have for you than think like a victim. If you want to be broke, if you want to be exhausted, broke, and unhappy, think like a victim.
Yeah.
And I promise you, you will be broke.
Yeah.
So the first statement, make an offer to the world that can't refuse, is not a statement of victimhood.
Right.
And it's not. It's a statement. Remember, you have to make the world an offer it can't refuse, and the world is not. The jungle is neutral.
Okay.
Isn't that?
Yeah.
Wow. What a wacky thing to say. The jungle is neutral. Well, you know what, brother? It is.
Yeah.
The world does. Am I permitted? You have to teach me here because I'm a slow learner and I want to learn from you. Am I permitted to speak in a little bit a harsher way?
Oh, you can say, you can say whatever you want on here.
Okay.
Absolutely. We're uncensored on here.
Okay. So I want to be mindful. The world doesn't give a fuck.
Right.
What you do or don't do.
Right.
Now you'll say, really? I thought the world did. No, it doesn't.
Huh.
Whatever your parents told you about your own specialness or uniqueness, that's a bunch of bullshit. I mean, that's parental talk, and that's cool. But the world doesn't care.
Yeah.
The jungle is neutral. Now, if you're listening to this and you're finding any of this interesting, I would like to invite you, if you're willing, and you may not be, write it down. And write it down. Don't put it on your damn phone. Write it
Pen
down.
to paper.
Right, write it down. This weird guy said the jungle is neutral. Isn't that interesting? And you got to make the world an offer it can't refuse. Now, think for a moment, please. I say you have to make the world an offer it can't refuse. You don't wait for mommy or daddy or Barack Obama or Oprah or Donald Trump or your girlfriend or boyfriend or something of that sort to make the world an offer for you. You have to do it.
Right. You make the choice.
See how it goes? See how it is?
Yeah.
See? And the jungle is neutral, and there we are. So what became my offer, right?
Yep.
Well, here's what I found out, friend. Taylor, first of all, I found a pattern, which is what I do.
Yeah.
Since I'm not very smart and certainly not very educated, right?
Yeah.
I've had to look for patterns.
Okay.
Right? What is it that the winners, the champions have done?
Yep.
Yes?
Yeah.
What have the champions done? And what have the dumb fucks done?
Right.
The dumb fucks, or you can say the underachievers. Let's use politically correct language. Wonderful, loving, kind, cuddly underachievers.
Yeah.
Now, we used to call those people dumb fucks, but whatever it is, we call them wonderful, pet-loving, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, we just listen and we talk and we enjoy. But now, if you're wanting to go in a certain direction in life, yes?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you're wanting to go in a certain direction in life, yes, then you say, well, why don't we find out how some people did it?
Right.
And why don't we find out how some people didn't do it?
Right.
And then why don't we do more of what the ones that did it did?
Right, yeah.
And right?
Oh, totally.
Right? Isn't that reasonable?
Absolutely.
And I found this pattern, interesting pattern, 4 steps.
Huh.
Now you think of a step ladder, pattern, step ladder.
Right.
So I want you to close your eyes and think of a step ladder. Okay, now you got your step ladder. And we call step 1, the first step, an important step, the first step, free.
Yeah.
Free.
Okay.
Now you say, okay, tell me about that. First step, free. Now I'll get back to that in a second. First step, so write your step ladder out, and on step 1, you got free.
Right.
And in step 2, we'll call step 2 below market. Below
Okay.
market. Now we got step 2 below market, yeah?
Right.
Now we got step 3, market.
Okay.
Market. And step 4, we call victory.
Okay.
Okay, so you got that okay now? You
Yep.
got it all written down? Okay,
Yeah.
Now here we are. You got the step ladder, 4 steps. The first step's free. Second step's below market. Third step's market. Fourth step is victory. Okay. We want to get to victory. Wow. Victory. Okay. So now, and the problem is in America today, or in the world today, but America is where I live. That's my team. That's the one I'm rooting for, see?
Yeah.
In America today, America's my team. That's the team I'm rooting for, see? When America plays any team in the world in soccer, you never have to ask me, well, who are you rooting for today? See, you always know with
Right.
me.
Yeah.
That's my team.
Right.
That's the one I'm rooting for, see? So now, in America today, the problem is people want to get to step 4 without 1, 2, and 3, see?
Got it. Yep.
And that's a bad plan.
Right.
See, don't do that.
Right.
None of the rich, Warren Buffett says something. He says so many brilliant things. No wonder he's that rich and that brilliant.
He might know a
He
thing or
says, maybe. And he says, the 400 richest people in the world, he studied the 400 richest people in the world or something, some conference he was at, whatever it was. And he says, none of them are short sellers.
Huh.
Now,
Wow.
you may be listening to this and say, well, what the hell's a short seller?
Right.
Now, I say, okay, listen, you want to know what a short seller is, don't rely on me to tell you. Why don't you look it the hell up?
Right.
Now, that means taking one less cat picture today, one less sushi picture today. Now, I know that's hurtful and racist. I understand that, and that's cool. And I know you think I hate cats and sushi and race. I understand all that. But I'm suggesting look up short seller, see?
Yeah.
Because none of them were short sellers.
Right.
None of them thought short term, see?
They're all playing the long game.
They're playing the long game, see?
Right.
Now, if you don't know what a long game is, go look it up. That's another picture off. Oopsie. That's one less text emoji. So,
Right.
Okay. Now, here we are. We go to step one. You make the world an offer it can't refuse.
Yeah.
Very few people in the world can refuse you working for free.
Right.
Very few people will say, no, I think I'm going to pass on that deal.
Yeah.
Very few. Now, some will, but very few. So you go to wherever it is, whoever it is, and you say, you know, Joe, you know, Sally, you know, Hector, you know, Ramon, I admire you greatly, and I'd like to learn from you, and I'd like to work with you and understand what you're doing. And I'd like to work alongside, help, learn, create, understand, work for free. Right?
Yeah.
Mentor.
Yep.
Now, I'll do that if you're willing. I like to do that for a 6-month period. And now in that story, when you're doing that, you see you're on step one.
Yep.
Now, let me tell you a little bit about step one. At that point in the story, you're losing and your friends are winning.
Yeah.
Now, why is that? Because your friends are taking the same time you're taking, and they're making 10 an hour.
Right.
See?
Oh, yeah.
Some of them got a uniform, a name tag. They're making 10, 12. I don't know what it is today. It might even be up to 15. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So here we are. Now, at this point in the story, who's winning? You or them? Well, they're
Right.
winning. They're winning, see? Because you get 0, they get 10, 15.
Right. Oh, yeah.
They got a uniform name tag, you don't, and all that. Okay, now here we are. Now we walk up. 6 months come, 6 months go. You work hard, you learn, you come early, you stay late, you be grateful, you thank people. Even though at this point in the story you're learning, you're grateful.
Right.
See? And now we go to step 2. That's below market. Now you say, listen, I'm going to get out of here, but I really love to continue my learning, but I can't work for free. What do you say we do it for 5 an hour?
Yeah.
Everybody else making 10, you go 5, see?
Oh, yeah.
We call that low bid, see?
Yep.
Very few people in the world can resist that. Now you're at low bid, see?
Yep.
And at this point in the story, who's winning? You or your friends? Well, they are, see? They think you're an idiot,
Right.
see? Because you're getting 5, they're getting 10.
Yep.
Uh-oh. So far, it's not sounding too good. You're losing. You've lost
Right.
2 games in a row.
Right.
How are you going to get to the World Series that way? Well, the story gets interesting. Hold on.
Okay.
Now, we go to step 3. Another 6 months goes by. You go to step 3. Now you're at market.
Yep.
You say, hey, I've been here a while. I'm good. I love you. I'm learning. I'm growing. You're growing. Let's get it going. Let's do 10 and 10.
Yeah.
10 for me.
Yep.
And your friends get 10. Now it's a draw.
Right.
See, you're catching up a little.
Right.
It only took you a year, but you're catching up a little.
And they still think you're crazy because you took way longer to get to this
you
point.
wasted a year.
Yeah.
You could have gone to Coachella, Comic-Con, Cabo, and Burning Man. I went to every one of those things. Now, listen, that one's called BCCC.
Okay.
Right?
BCCC.
They're saying, your friends are saying, you're an idiot, Taylor.
Yeah.
Taylor, you don't know anything.
Right.
Because I won the BCCC award. And you said, BCCC award? What the hell is that?
Yeah.
Well, in the last year, I went to Burning Man. I went to Coachella, Comic-Con, and Cabo. You didn't go to any of these. Right? Now, So here we are. You see how it is? Now we're getting ready for step 4.
Oh, yeah.
Another 6 months go by. What's going on? Now you get to step 4. Now, in that part of the that's called victory. See, now you're getting 100, they're getting 10.
Right.
Why is that? Because that's the way it works.
Yeah.
See, that's called the market.
Yep.
Market value, market.
Right.
Now, creative people don't know enough about markets.
Right.
They think, and they've been told over and over and over and over and over and over and over again by the world, by their friends, by society, that they're getting screwed over by the man.
Right.
Right? That's what they've been told. They're creative people, and they're getting screwed over by the man. And I'm trying to tell them, you're not getting screwed over. Fuck the man.
Yeah.
You're the man.
Mm.
The day you get to understand that despite not having any advantage, and in fact, this is the funniest thing I can tell you in the whole story.
Yeah.
Taylor, I swear to you on my life, I would not wish dyslexia on anyone ever, a kid.
Right.
I really wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's not good, bro.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And in fact, you can go on a website, and I would invite you to do this. I think I told you. Go on a website, go to Google, type in, what does it feel like to have dyslexia?
Yep.
There's a website. It's real good because it'll show you. You'll have more compassion in your heart. Did I just win a prize?
You did. Sorry. Apparently, they didn't read the huge sign on the door that says we're recording right now.
Of course not. Why would they do
Why would they do that?
No.
Sorry.
No.
No, I appreciate what you're saying right now about dyslexia. Both my daughters suffer with it.
So go to that website. That'll give you some compassion.
Absolutely,
but here is the funniest part, because life is so paradoxical.
Right, yeah.
Ironic.
Yep.
Paradoxical.
Yep.
The funny part of the deal is that the disadvantage that a person has, often with enough focus and effort, which most people won't exert, can be made to be an advantage.
You use it
not
as leverage.
merely neutralized, right? You'll say, oh, you mean if you have this, you can work hard enough and get it up.
Right.
No, it can actually, you turn the kryptonite, you know, kryptonite,
Absolutely,
Superman, kryptonite, you turn the kryptonite into turbo fuel. Isn't that something? Wow.
Yeah.
Now, most people don't do it because the kryptonite is so traumatizing and debilitating.
Oh, yeah. They just want to not think about it, not address it.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Most dyslexics, anyone born with a real disability, they're good people. They're good human beings, created in God's image. God doesn't make mistakes, all the rest. But they can't shake it. They can't. It's too much.
Yeah.
The burden is too heavy. And they try sometimes, and maybe they don't try hard enough, or they don't stick with it long enough, whatever it is. And they turn to victimhood. They turn to say, if it weren't for.
Right.
If it weren't for.
Yep.
And that's a bad play.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And a few people take the thing and they say, I'm not going to, and they just won't give up.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So anyway, now that's the 4 steps. That's how it goes. Listen to who's in charge of your destiny in this story. Listen to who's not in charge. Listen to all that. So maybe you have a thought, a comment, a suggestion, a question, an alternative speech, and I know we have to end pretty soon, so hope it was of some interest.
Michael, this is absolutely fantastic, and I mean, I'm going to be thinking for the next several weeks about these 4 things that you've shared here. And that whole idea of not viewing your story or your background or your challenges as a victim, but to use it as leverage to propel you forward. That is
if
huge.
you're born, I think, right?
Yep.
At least where I feel most comfortable in speaking.
Right.
If you're born in America,
right.
First of all, listen to me. America is going through a very difficult time.
Right.
If you want me to privately tell you that I am very, 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 that's 3 verys,
Yeah.
concerned
Right.
about America and its future and its
Right.
civilization currently,
Right.
I will do it.
Absolutely.
It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart.
Yeah.
But I am very, very, very concerned.
Right.
I'm concerned because we're tremendously divided.
Yep.
I'm concerned because we seem to have lost our will for the fundamentals.
Yeah.
Fundamentals. Hard work. We have turned away. We have turned too much into victimhood, all these fundamentals. But despite all that, right? And
Right.
those are that's pretty, oh boy, that's pretty rough deal.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
I'm very concerned. I'm not concerned. I am not concerned. I am very, very, very concerned.
Yeah.
But despite all that,
Right.
right now, I can't tell you 10 years from now, but right now, you born in America, you won the lottery, son.
Yeah.
You won about 1 in 30.
Yep.
See, there was a 29 out of 30 chance you wouldn't be born here.
Wow.
Now,
Wow.
you won the lottery. Right now. Now, look,
Right.
maybe it'll change and maybe I'll change my mind. But right now, you won the lottery in terms of self-determination.
Right.
Now, do some people have it worse than others? Some groups, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. When my friends in minority communities say it isn't fair, I say, you're right.
Right.
You're right. It isn't. And it is our task to try to make it a little better, but never try to make it perfect because it doesn't work. And utopianism hurts us more than helps us.
Right. But your focus is really saying the personal responsibility. You
That's
are
it.
in control.
It's your deal.
You can decide to do what you want to do.
That's it.
And you may have more challenges than someone else might have, but
Oh,
don't let it hold you
absolutely.
back. Absolutely.
It's not fair. You're not wrong. It's
Right.
not fair. I agree with you. I'm agreeing with you. Now, I do want to tell you, if you choose to listen, it wasn't fair 50 years ago. It's not likely to be fair 50 years from now.
Right.
It isn't fair right now.
Right. Yeah.
And if you turn toward victimhood, I think it's a bad deal. I think you're putting your money on in a bad game. You're going to lose over time. Now, you'll feel good for an hour or two because it makes you feel empowered.
Yeah.
Bitching is fun. It's fun. Anger is fun. It's fun. But it's a poison.
Right.
And think of the container it's in. Imagine if I handed you a drink, your kids, you a drink,
Right.
a poison. I said, drink up.
Right.
And you said, what?
Right.
I said,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no, drink up.
Yeah.
You're going to enjoy it. It tastes good. Well, and by the way, maybe you can make some poison taste good, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a chemist.
Oh my gosh.
But I bet you can make some poison taste pretty good. But think of the container it's in.
Michael, that's
Think-
huge.
Come on.
That's
Come
huge.
on.
My friend, I know we're
Okay, we gotta
coming
end.
up
I
on the
know
end
it.
of time, but tell us how, if people want to hear more or want to connect, or how do they get more of Michael Levine today? What is the best way for them to?
Well, I have a website called Michael Levine Media,
Yep.
which I think you might enjoy. And then this is not something I own. I have some partners that own this. Something called The Excel, EXCEL, The Excel, EXCEL community.com. That's a good one in terms of 5-minute videos. That's pretty good.
Oh, great! Yeah.
I think it's maybe $8.95 a month. It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
But go listen to some free stuff. There's free stuff online. Couple other things, if I can do a quick commercial.
Please do.
I have what I think to be a terrific newsletter. Really, really good. Daily, little encapsulated daily news briefing. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
LBN.
Okay.
Elert, E-L-E-R-T. So L is in Larry, B is in boy, N is in Nancy, LBN, ELERT.com. It's free.
That's great.
I knew you liked the price. It's free.
Right, that's step one.
That's pretty good.
That's
okay,
fantastic.
Now, that's a good one. The other thing is, we talked about the website. That's cool.
Yep.
I've written some books.
Yes.
My last book is called Broken Windows, Broken Business.
Yes.
It's a business book.
Absolutely.
It's about how little details matter. And do remember, friends, as you're thinking about your life and you're pursuing your journey, God sees the inside. Humans see the outside. Appearances do matter, right?
Right.
Try to conduct yourself. Dress. There was an old adage: dress for the job you want, not for the one you have.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that interesting? Think for the one you want, not for the one you have.
Right.
See, when I go into Starbucks, right?
Yep.
And I see the nice barista there, young person often.
Right.
And I say to them, maybe they make me coffee or tea or something, and I say, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
They invariably today, young people, well, first of all, what should a person going in the right direction say if somebody says, thank you? What should they say?
It's my privilege. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're welcome. It's my privilege. Thank you. Happy to help. You're welcome, right?
Right, yeah.
Parents should insist or teach their young kids, if somebody says thank you, you say you're welcome.
Yeah.
Now, today, you go into your Starbucks, right?
Yep.
And you say thank you to the nice barista, right?
Right.
Pretty gal, guy, young, any Caucasian, Asian, Hispanic, doesn't matter. And you say thank you very much.
Right.
Now, frequently, what do our nice friends, baristas, say?
I don't know.
No problem. So you're not paying enough attention.
Yes. Oh, no problem. Yeah.
You're not paying enough attention, Taylor. See, now you might want to ask yourself,
right,
as a good friend, right?
Yep.
You might want to say, well, Michael says I'm not paying.
Right.
Maybe you go home to your wife. Now you're talking to your wife, you guys are at dinner, and, so interesting talk with Michael. He says I'm not paying enough attention.
Yeah.
And then she says, well, that's interesting. And then you say, I wonder what he feels, I feel that I'm paying too much attention to. Because if I'm not paying enough attention to that, what am I paying attention to?
Yeah.
Usually, what is it? Well, it's the damn phone.
Yeah, it's true.
See?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, generally, what do they say? You're welcome.
No problem.
No problem. No worries.
Right.
No problem. Yeah. Now, honey, I didn't think there was a problem, so I don't know what you're talking about. See, but poor folks, over time, learn to say no problem.
Huh.
And rich folks learn to say over time, you're welcome. Now, since the jungle is neutral,
right,
you get to decide your pay grade.
Yeah, choose your language carefully.
There you go. But remember, the jungle's neutral.
Right.
So,
Michael, so
anyway,
good.
fun stuff.
What an
And
encouragement.
I hope it was
friend.
some minor help.
It was wonderful. Thank you, my friend. I'm going to stop.
Well, you're wonderful.
Stop the recording here, but we can say some final words together.